Hello guys, it's me again. I decided to go ahead and do a part two of my pagan teachings. Um, I hope you'll go get the books and read them, like I said. Reading everything you can get your hands on and making it what you make it of. Um, Basically, pagans use the earth. The earth is the source of life. It we come from the earth. Our food, water, air, oxygen, everything comes from the earth. And we draw a lot of our energies. I'm going to explain how we do energy work. And a lot of people thinks that magic is making things disappear, levitate, whatever. But that's not. That's magicians. That's smoke and mirrors. True magic is actually able to conjure energy and send that energy out to do what you want it to do. And we do that several different ways. To explain to you, first of all, is um, our bodies produce electricity, so our own bodies gives off energy. And pagans, while we worship the moon and recognize the moon as the goddess, is because if you think about it, the moon controls the waters, like the tides. It rises and lowers. It controls it. Our bodies are 70 something percent water, so the moon does have an effect on us. And what we do is we channel that energy, that effect that the moon can give during different moon cycles. Um, you can send that energy out. Actually, sending energy out is going to be in a later video because it's a little more in depth. But I'm basically going to give you the knowledge that that's what true magic is, and that's what we do. When it comes to spells, you have to be very, very, very careful with spells, um, especially when you first get into it. Uh, don't do them. I learned my lesson big time when I first got it. Anybody tell me any different, and I wrote my own spells and did it. And like I did a love spell. That was one of the first spells I ever did, and oh my gosh, it kicked me in the ass because when you do a spell, you can't do it out of greed. Um, and you've got to be very specific. So I was greedy and asking the goddess to send me love. I wanted love. I didn't specify how or what it is, so my karma, which kicked me in the ass threefold, is I started going on a lot of dates. A lot of the guys started paying me interest. Um, but the problem was where the karma kicks in is I didn't like none of them like that, and they were very hard to get rid of. Um, so be very careful when you do spells. Research it. There's a book of spells that's just for simple things like self-worth, weight loss, things like that. Do not do anything greedy like money spells, love spells, things of that nature. Just a warning from my personal experience, and what happened to me. Um, if you do your spells right, it really does happen. It um, Spell work is some people's not into spell work, some people is. I'm into spell work because I write my own spells and rituals to perform different things. I find it comforting, and usually what I send out, I get back. So I always try to do that. Um, let's see. So be careful when you do spell work. Learn about it first. Don't do spells out of greed, like love, money, fame, fortune. Because if you do, you may get it, but there's a price to pay. And also, when you're doing spell work, you've got to remember if you're going to get, you've got to give. It's like algebra. If you do one thing on one side, you have to do the exact same thing on the other side. You can't have you can't expect to get this without giving this. And depending on the spell or the ritual, it depends on the offering. When I say offering, I don't mean small children or animals or none of that, 'cause we don't do that. Offerings could be nuts, berries, coins, sometimes blood. We use blood sometimes. Um, but like I said, just be very careful. And right now, me and my best friend Misty, Misty is from her lineage is Gypsy, and I've always been really, really interested in Gypsy magic. And a true story, we went and visited her grandmother's grave and asked her permission to give me the Gypsy power that she had, and the experience was mind blowing. I mean, you'd have to be there. And hopefully, I can get Misty in my videos with me doing these pagan things, especially the gypsies, because she knows more about the gypsy magic than I do because I've read on it, but I haven't practiced it because I believe that gypsies has to come from heritage, and I don't really know if my heritage comes from gypsy or not, but um, any anybody can be a witch. You don't even have to call yourself a witch. You can call yourself pagan. Whatever, labels, not labels, whatever, it's cool. Um, yeah, and you just don't let it get to your head, because that's the first thing that everybody I've talked to, including myself, goes is when you first learn all this, you want to do everything, and you don't really know what you're doing. Um, like playing with a Ouija board, or holding seances, or calling upon spirits, or calling upon the gods and goddesses, and when you don't know what you're doing, it can really fuck you up. And so before you try, and when you're reading it, you're going to be excited. You're going to be wanting to do this and this and this, but start with the small stuff. Practice. Make sure you can cast a circle, which I'll explain later. A circle is a protection to do your energy work, spell work, ritual work, whatever. It protects you, whatever, because you open up the spirit world. There's a very thin line between our world and the spirit world, and just because you are conjuring or wanting a certain spirit to come through, there's other spirits waiting at that little break, waiting for the opportunity to sneak through our world, like little demons or evil ghosts or poltergeists or whatever, and they can come through. So if your circle is not strong enough, those little creatures can come to your circle, and then you've got them to worry about, and you have to get rid of them. And trust me, they're a pain in the ass. I guess I should explain casting a circle. Like I said, casting a circle is used for protection. You always, when you do spell work, ritual work, anything magical, always cast a circle. You can sprinkle salt into an actual circle, or you can visualize a circle, and then you call the quarters. Um, you have five. You have earth, air, fire, and water. And it's directional. So to the north, you would call hail to the guardians of the watchtowers of earth, because north represents earth. Hail to the guardians of the watchtowers of the east, because east is the guardians of air. Hail to the guardians of the watchtowers of the south, which is fire. Hail to the goddess of the watchtowers of the west, which is water. And then hail to the spirit, which you always have a spirit candle in the middle, because whatever gods or goddesses you're using, you want that spirit there to help you. And those guardians are there in your circle to help protect you. So when you're doing spell work and you're opening up the spirit world, um, it protects you. And so you need to practice, and you've got to be able to do it. And when you visualize it, you have to visualize an actual circle. And when you let people in, you have to use an athame, which is a knife that witches use, and you have to open up and let them come through. Then you have to close it, and then once you're done with everything, you do have to close the circle. And to close the circle, you do the exact same thing as you did. Oh, when you first cast it, you do it clockwise, Daysol. When you're done, you do it counterclockwise or Widdershins. Um, if you don't close your circle, then there could be some major things too. Um, I don't recommend using the Ouija board. I've used it a couple times. The Ouija board is very, very, very tricky because don't know who you're talking to. They could say there's something, but not be something else, and that's a direct link to the spirit world. And you can actually get spirits attached to you, bad or good. So I don't recommend using that unless you're comfortable enough to know what you're doing. I think that's about it. I'll get more into spell work and rituals and stuff, but I want to get the fundamentals done first, like casting the circle I just explained. And you read any pagan book, it's going to teach you how to cast a circle. So I do recommend doing that. And like I said, practice. Start small. Learn what you're doing because trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me. Karma is can be a bitch, and you don't want to do a spell and it backfire on your ass because it sucks. We do have a rule, one rule only, and it's to cause harm to none. Do as you will, just as long as you don't harm no one. You can't do magic to persuade someone's will. You can't take their ability, their will away from them. You can't control them. Like if you do a love spell, you can't. That's messing with their free will. You can't do that. That's hurting someone. As long as you follow that rule, anything and everything goes. I mean, there's nothing wrong. Um, and again, it's the religion itself is you make it what you want to make it. Like you can ask any witch, pagan, whatever, they do things different than other people, and you'll find your own little niche in what you like to do. A lot of people like a lot of ritual stuff where it's almost like church, like you have to do this, 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 and this. I do some rituals during Sabbats and the Esquats, but very rarely because I'm an impatient person and rituals takes like an hour or so, and honestly, I don't have time. So usually I just cast a circle and do something. Spell work, you've got to know how to use your energies and use it right. So that way later on. Um, what other information, advice? Um, the more people you have, the stronger the energies is. But you have to be careful because certain people's energies might be bad, and if they're bad, they're going to be with you. So you have to be very careful. I think that's going to be it for lesson two. Um, this is my third, fourth video today. I'm in a video making mood. I don't know why. But anyway, I will see you or talk to you with my next lesson, and I think I'm going to get into some of the basics, the vocabulary, the meanings of things, the Sabbats, the Esbats, and our holidays and stuff like that. So, until then, peace, love you guys, and I will talk to you later. I'm outie.